Hey YouTube, Halo Guy here. Oh my god, the trailer we got, Discover Hope, the E3 2019 event, absolutely blew me away. I had a huge fanboy moment watching this E3 trailer. It was probably the only part of E3 this year that I actually enjoyed, but you know what? It was worth sitting through the hour and a half just to see this trailer. That's how good it was. If you are interested in seeing my raw live reaction, that was my latest upload. That will be in the description down below, and also a card will be displayed at the end of this video. So go and check that out once you're done with the breakdown if you want to be entertained by a fanboy outcry. But for now, let's get into breaking down this trailer. We start the trailer off with a Marine who appears to be sleeping, and we see at the bottom of the screen that it is a game engine footage, meaning everything in this cutscene is not pre-rendered, it is in engine. The engine is rendering this in real time. So this is a rough idea of what the game could look like at release, as long as they haven't juiced it up and have it running on some sort of high-end PC or something like that. The ship then starts warning this Marine that there has been a pressure build-up somewhere. A combination of this alert and the ship shaking wakes this Marine up. He then goes into some pouches on his armor and grabs two key cards and tries to override the warning, or I'm not sure what he's overriding, but some sort of protocol gets activated when he does this. Now, the weird thing is, this sort of ship seems to require two pilots to override something, so either his crew has died and he's escaped on the ship, or he's scavenged the ship from a battle and is now laying low away from everyone else. But almost instantly, as soon as the pressure override thingamajig is sorted, there is a breach. A pipe in the back of the ship seems to have burst and is excreting a ton of gas or some sort of hot steam into the ship, and he seems very concerned about this, so it's clearly very important that that gets sorted. He does manage to sort it, but he appears to get knocked out when he falls down after doing so. A holographic messaging device falls from somewhere and it starts playing a message from, I'm assuming, his wife and his either son or daughter, not sure which. But we see the green lights around this device slowly going out, which indicates that time is passing and that this message is just on a constant loop, and he's watching it over and over again. Maybe obviously not at once, because for the battery to run down that quick, it would have to be at least about 6 months or so, I'd say. We get confirmation that a lot of time has passed when the camera pans back around to the Marine when he picks up the messaging device. His hair has drastically grown out with his beard, and the messaging device ultimately dies. And the look in this guy's face, you can't help just feel really, really sad and sorry for him. You actually see this in my live reaction. I look like I'm about to cry myself, to be honest. But we see a green light emanating from the background after this, and the ship tells him that there is a friendly target close by. As soon as his brain catches up with the situation, he realises that there is in fact a friendly target outside of the ship, something that he's probably not seen for a long time. Like I said, at least around 6 months in my opinion. He tries to make contact with this friendly target, declaring himself as Echo 216, but he doesn't get a response, so he wipes away the frost from the front of the Pelican, and that's when we see it. The Mark 6, the classic Mark 6 Chief armor. He brings the Chief on board and attempts to start him up, putting him into safe mode. It really reminds me of the start of Halo 3 when his armor was in partial lockdown. I'm assuming it's sort of the same idea where his suit locks down in order to keep him safe, basically. The Marine uses the remaining power from his ship to jumpstart the Chief's suit, which he was ultimately successful in doing. The camera then jumps into a first-person perspective of the Chief, and his visor starts coming online, and this is when we see a bunch of key details for the story and the timeline. The first date we see, it was not really declared as a date, but I'm assuming it is a date. It says 12.22.19. Now this, my friends, is what I am assuming is the Halo Infinite Flight 1 release date. I don't know, it seems like a day. The Halo 5 beta was the 23rd of December, so it's not far off of that timeline. I honestly think this is not the first time that they have put some sort of release date in an obscure place. The Halo 5 beta file size was actually the Halo 5 full game release date, which is just so weird. That surprised everyone. And now I was on the lookout for every single key detail on this startup screen, and this is what I found. I've not heard anyone else talk about this. That is how hidden and probably how obscure this is. Halo Follower hasn't even talked about this. That is how insane this theory is. The second piece of information we see on this screen is two dates. We have 2559, more specifically the 10th of February 2559, and that's when this suit was created. However, it has recently been modified by Dr. Halsey in 2561, the 19th of September, and below that we see that this is in fact confirmed to be a Generation 3 suit. And if you don't know, a Generation 3 suit has the protective values of a Generation 1 suit with the mobility of a Generation 2 suit. Not sure if that confirms that advanced movement mechanics are going to be in the game or not, but we won't know that until maybe the 22nd of December 2019, when this so-called beta launches. The rest of the boot up is a bunch of Xbox redemption codes that you can redeem for Game Pass Ultimate, which was literally just announced minutes before this cutscene was revealed. So that was pretty cool. I tried to get a couple of codes to work, but they were all taken by the time I got to them, which was unfortunate. There are a lot of codes in this screen, so I don't know, maybe you want to go back and try some for yourself. Maybe one or two has been missed. We never really know. So you can try your luck if you want. The last important thing on the startup screen is a warning actually. It says warning, no AI detected. Could that mean that this Generation 3 suit needs an AI to function properly? Why would it say warning? It's not like every Spartan has an AI installed in their suit. So it's really weird that it's actually saying warning and not just declaring that there's no AI detected. So there's two things this brings up. One, Chief's not going to have a companion for this game. Chief's not going to have a companion for this game, which is going to be weird. I'm assuming Blue Team's not in it, unless this Marine is your companion, which would be quite cool. I've not actually seen a Marine companion for Chief ever. We had Halo 3 ODST where you had a fire team of Marines, but we've never seen a Spartan with a Marine companion, so that could be a possibility for the story of this game. The second thing this says is that Dr. Halsey definitely is not interested in creating another Cortana model, which was a theory that everyone had on 2018 when we saw Chief insert the blue chip into his helmet. Moving on though, when the Chief does eventually wake up after the startup screen, the Marine is so happy. He has so much hope, which links back to the name of this cutscene, Discover Hope. He's so excited to see the Chief. The Chief is an icon. He's a superhero in the Halo universe to these guys. Seeing him here gives them the will to fight and to go on. The Chief then appears to have a chip in his right hand, which he then inserts into the back of his helmet. However, when he does so, there's a message on the visor saying weapon containment device, no AI detected. So I'm assuming that this chip isn't your standard issue AI chip. I feel like it's more like a capture device that once is plugged into the same system as an AI, instead of the AI going into the chip on their own, it actually pulls the AI from a system into the chip and traps them in there. So Chief's mission might be to capture Cortana and bring her back to Dr. Halsey in order to be fixed. That's just a theory I've got, but there's really no evidence for that. The Marine then wants to check his diagnostics, similar to how we saw in Halo 1, 2 and 3, where you get told to look up and look down and look around the little lights because we didn't know how to use controllers back in those days. But Chief's like, nah, fuck that shit, and just rips the wires out of his suit by simply walking forward. Now these wires don't appear to be plugged into anything in his suit, which, you know, was quite weird, but they're not going to design big holes in the back of his suit in order to have wires plugged into just for the sake of one little cutscene, which may or may not even be in the final game, mind you. The Chief seems to be unaware of what's actually happening outside of the ship. The way he asks the Marine for a status report gives us the impression that he believes that there is in fact a battle going on outside of the ship. that this Marine is a part of, and that Chief was probably a part of before he was outside floating around in space. The Marine tells him that he should probably go and have a look, and when the Chief does, he sees a broken Halo ring, and the Marine states that they lost the war, or some sort of battle happening around this ring, which is in fact Zeta Halo. My question is though, if they lost the war, why is the ring destroyed? I'm pretty sure Cortana would want the ring for some sort of insurance policy if no one abides by her rules. So is there a third party involved that wants to destroy the created? I doubt it. I don't think they'd want to overcomplicate this story. I think they want to keep it really simple. Get Cortana away from the evil dictator chair that she's in right now, and bring us back to a more grounded story that isn't, crazily over the top Ryan Reed's type stuff, Janice Key nonsense. The ship then gets EMP'd by a orange electrical light to signify it, and there is a massive blue glow, which I'm assuming is some sort of slipstream portal. We saw something similar in Halo 2 when Regret tried to make a slipstream jump inside of New Mombasa, which ultimately EMP'd everything nearby. So I'm assuming something has jumped into the nearby vicinity and the ship is then being EMP'd. It could possibly be a Guardian. I think it is going to be something Forerunner just based on the huge blue lights that's going on. And the Marine says, "Oh no, not again." Sort of paraphrasing there, but that's what he says, something along those lines. So have the Guardians been coming around this area looking for survivors for a while, and he's tried to stay sort of undercover under the radar, not getting spotted? Maybe. It's a possibility, but he seems to want to hide and run away, whereas Chief in his classical way says,
"We need a fight."
The Marine then locks himself inside of the cockpit of the Pelican, and Chief goes into the back, opens up the bay doors, and proceeds to jump out, which is where the first part of this trailer ends. We then finally get confirmation that the game is releasing Holiday 2020, which is what I've always said. So everyone that said 2019, no, there was no way it was going to release this year. We would have heard so much more about the game at this point. But we're then taken to a shot of a control room. However, the control room doesn't have any panels or anything, which I thought was quite weird. All that there is a big massive blue glow, and we have a voiceover from Cortana, so I'm assuming this blue glow is Cortana, but with the way the voiceover was talking, I'm not sure this is an evil Cortana that we saw in Halo 5. I think it's another fragment of her from the Didact ship in Halo 4. I think this is a good fragment that he's trying to go capture, maybe by capturing the good fragment of Cortana and the evil fragment of Cortana, and bringing them together. Would that make her whole again with the help of Dr. Halsey to cure the overall rampancy part? It's a possibility. It's definitely a way to fix Halo 5's poor story that Brian Reed produced, and it would also bring back a beloved character from the dead, which is always a positive. Well, not always a positive. It can, Johnson just kind of showed up and said, "Surprise, motherfucker." That would be awful. That would literally be the worst thing ever. But Cortana's an AI, so it's a bit different. It's a grey area for sure. But that's really all we see in this trailer. We then, get the classic Halo 3 sort of music, which just pulls on the strings, just pulls on those nostalgia strings, which I hate them for doing. They're making this trailer better by giving us classic music, and I hate it. But I love it at the same time. I don't know what to say. But that's really all the trailer had. Possible release date, possible dates for when it takes place, minor story elements. However, one thing I was wrong on was the fact that we were going to get some sort of beta trailer, which we didn't end up getting. But we might have got the release date. That's one thing. There is another Xbox conference inside Xbox, which has been said to have Halo Infinite stuff in it, exclusive Halo Infinite information. So the Halo Infinite news is not over yet, so you want to stay tuned for that. But that's all from me today, guys. What do you think? Is this the Halo Infinite beta release date and the Visor startup? What do you think about the story? Is what I said the same sort of thinking that you guys had? Let me know down in the comments below. I'll be interested to know what you guys have to say. But that's all from me today. Like the video if you enjoyed, it helped the channel out a ton. Subscribe with notifications if you haven't already to stay up to date with all my latest videos as soon as they go live. I'll be covering all Halo news, big or small, so you want to keep up with the channel. I'd like to thank you all for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time, and have a good one.